Hey, it's Tanya D, and I'm recording off my phone, so every now and then I'll glance this way to make sure everything's in focus because I do move a lot when I know I should be looking here. But anyway, recently a friend had posted, Bella Rangel, she posted most embarrassing moment of my life, and then I threw in, well, did this happen? And she was like, no, oh my gosh, I would die. Wait, did that happen to you? And I kind of owned up to it, and she said, story time. Oh my gosh, you need to do a story time. So, here is my story time. If you would like to find out one of my most embarrassing moments, then keep on watching. Okay, so before I go into the story, I'm gonna let you know a little bit about how my teen self was. I was the misfit. I didn't fit into a lot of the groups. There was the jocks, the girl jocks, the guy jocks. There were the choir, band geeks, that's what they called them. They were amazing too. There was metalheads, the bookworms, the computer nerds, the gamers, there was all those. And I talked to each group. I knew like really well people in every one of those groups, and I talked to them all the time. And I always seemed to be like the center of attention because I asked for it. Duh. I would go out there and act out a scene in a 1960 movies where the girl's screaming, no, no, and doesn't run. I was just the big goofball in high school because as long as you were laughing, I loved it. I don't care if you were laughing at me. Even now, you can laugh at me, and I'm okay because you're laughing. And I'd rather it be with me, but hey, as long as you're laughing, I'm okay. And that's the way I've always been. So a lot of stuff did embarrass me. If I really did fall, because I was clumsy, I would make like a snow angel, a gravel angel, because it never snowed where we were in here, where I'm from. A bowling alley angel. If I fell in a bowling alley, I was suddenly like, oh, I'm a beautiful butterfly, and just act really silly and make everybody laugh even more, and they would forget about me just falling and flopping and all that other stuff. So that was my character. It took a lot for me to get embarrassed. So my really good friend and I parted ways. We stopped talking. So I was talking to a new girl for a few months. It's hard to get to know me. I'm a bit out there. So people either take me in pieces and strides and little days and then recuperate, hang out with me again. And so I was a bit much, but she already knew this. So she was kind of a well-known person, girl. She had money and stuff like that. Well, she was invited to one of the popular kids parties, and this was in the really rich neighborhood. I was very poor. You always have the neighborhoods where they everybody wants to go to those houses for candy because they're going to be the best candy. Well, that was our rich people neighborhood. That's what we called it, being poor. Then there was the really rich people, the scary rich neighborhood up by they all had country clubs. They lived by the country club. They did the country club kind of thing and all the other stuff. And it was one of those parties. And we always were afraid of them. I don't know why, because they're really cool. So anyway, we're invited to one of their pool parties. They had a pool house, and I never knew that such thing of a pool house existed. Like, it's just a house, right? Next to a room. So I am feeling myself. I was really thin back then, like super skinny. My legs are still skinny, like flamingo skinny. And I had big boobs, and they were really high because I was a teenager. And I had nice hips and a flat stomach. Like, it was cute. I had a cute belly, which I always hated, but I wish I could go back to that belly. I mean, I bet we all do. But anyway, so I was feeling myself, and I was talking, mingling, and then the popular guys come in. It's 3 guys. They are from out of town. They're by a town close to us. And people that know me and know our group will probably kind of figure out who they are, but I'm not naming names. Well, there's the jock. There is the guy who is a rapper. He was known for rapping and spitting lyrics, and he was popular for that. And there was 3 guys, so I'm sure you're getting this, and they always hung out together. And there was the bad boy, the kid who went to juvie, but he had money, so they all, those guys always connected together and hung out together. and they were all like the hot guys, and everybody wanted to be with those people, those guys, including me. So I see them, but me, I would burp with the best of them. I watched boxing, talked about boxing, picked my wedgies. So I was always seen as one of the guys. So I go up to them like, hey, and they're like, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, what's going on, Tanya? Hey, controllers. That kind of stuff. Not the high I wanted. My friend goes up to him and they're like, oh, hey, and giving her nice, sweet hugs. But anyway, so we're all doing the pool party thing, and we go to the pool house because the mom was cooking and making drinks and stuff like that, and she needed to leave to go pick up a little sister and some other stuff. So this is when they pulled out the cigar weed. I'll just call it a cigarette, but you know what I'm talking about. It wasn't a cigarette. So the people that didn't want to smoke the cigarettes, they leave, including my friend and the guy she wanted to hook up with or be with or whatever. So they all go out back into the pool area, and we're sitting there, and it's me, two other girls, this out-of-town guy who was visiting for the summer, and he already became popular. Like, everybody loved him. All the girls wanted to be with him. He was really cute, you know, and the popular guys, and then a couple more people. And we're all sitting there talking and, you know, hitting that cigarette really hard. We hear the moms coming, so then we go back out. And there was a big table of like snacks. Like, there was so much snacks. It's like a month of our grocery bill was laid out in snacks on this table. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm munching. Who cares? I'm wearing a bikini. You know, just let my stomach flab out. I don't care, so I'm eating. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why I was so feeling myself in my bikini is because I was on my period and I wasn't bloated. It was like the last days, so I was really feeling myself because it was like, wow, I look good. My boobs were nice and swollen and perky enough to where it was just looked good. So I was just really feeling myself. And of course, period, food, cigarette, food, they all go hand in hand, right? So I'm munching and I'm kind of thirsty because cigarettes, the kind of cigarettes we were smoking, make you have cotton mouth, and the dryness was going through my throat. So I start coughing. I am like coughing and coughing so much. Tears are like streaming down my face. I am just like about to throw up all over the place. I'm coughing so much. I'm looking around thinking, does anybody notice me? I'm dying, and nobody even cares. No one's noticing me. No one was. No one paid a freaking attention to me. So I'm coughing. I'm trying to grab a punch that was there. I felt something hit my foot. I look down and I see, that's right, my tampon. My tampon is out on my foot. I coughed so much, so hard, my tampon just rocketed right out of my vagina and landed right on my foot. It wasn't bloody, it wasn't soaked, it wasn't that dirty because it was my last days, but there was some stuff on it. And I suddenly just like couldn't breathe. Drunk a little bunch. Looked around. How am I going to play this off? How am I going to pretend like I meant to rocket shoot my tampon out of my vagina onto my foot? Like, what's going on? Nobody noticed. Nobody freaking paid attention. So I kicked it to a pile of towels that were by the snack table. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I run into the pool house, and thank Lord Jesus that this mother had the pool house stocked. There was mouthwash, mints, gum, like everything, air freshener, tampons galore. So I open the cabinet and I see the tampons. Like, yes, I grab one, put it in, flushed a couple of times, all the evidence that I ever used the tampon. Hit the stream, went out to the pool, slowly went into the pool. Looking around. My friend notices that I'm acting kind of weird. Weirder than normal. And she's like, what's going on? What happened? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just when I was about to tell her, you hear a scream. And you would think this was like some after school TV special. Some movie. Some stupid, corny high school movie where this happens, but this was my real life. And as I turned to see what was going on, one of the popular girls grabbed a towel that my tampon was stuck on, and as she flipped it out, the tampon flew and, of course, landed by the popular guys. They're looking down. They're like, making a big deal about it. She is mortified. She was like, it's not mine. It's not mine. Her friend's like, I still have mine in. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing on my period. Here, good. But no. So I look at my friend, and I don't know what the need was, why I felt like I needed to drop my voice, but I was like, it was my tampon. Turn around, look. What's going on? And she's like, what? And I was like, it was my tampon. That was my tampon. That was my tampon. And turn around, look, and she's like, kind of looking confused, kind of connecting the dots. She's like, oh my gosh, guys, this girl's like, it's not mine, I'm telling you, it's not mine. So she's freaking out, being mortified. She takes off and leaves. And she looks at me and she's like, oh my gosh, oh, Tanya. I'm like, yes, that was my tampon. Oh my gosh. So we kind of swim to the edge, and she's like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna act normal, act like we're totally grossed out, so we have to get out of the pool. Wrap a towel, and then we'll leave. We'll go to Whataburger and let everybody meet us there, okay? Because that was a teenage hangout spot. And I was like, okay. So we're getting out. So we all say goodbye. We're all fully clothed. I just want to hurry up and get out of there. They're still talking about the tampon incident. The girls already left. They're gone. They're just done. And as we're hugging everybody, saying goodbye, we go to the out-of-town guy, and I hug him. And he's like, I heard you. And I was like, yeah, I know, I said goodbye. I said, I wanted you to hear me. I said goodbye to you too. And he's like, no, I heard you. I said, oh yeah, we're all going to Whataburger. I thought I told you that. And he's like, no, I heard you. That's when I became embarrassed. That is when I turned tomato red and ghost white at the same time. I didn't know what to say. So I was like, don't tell anybody. And as I was leaving, he grabbed my hand and he goes, what's your number? And I'm like, seriously, this dude wants my number. So I give it to him. And we all meet at Whataburger or whatever. The next day he calls me to go watch a movie. And I'm thinking, seriously? But okay, wow. My rocket shooting tampon got me a date. So it's not that bad. So we get picked up. My friend ends up hooking up with his friend. And when he picks us up, I see a chocolate bar and a box of tampons in the front seat. And we kind of laugh. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, does this guy know me? Like, so I was like, okay. So I pull a tampon. I was like, do you want me to stick it in now? And everybody just starts laughing. So we're having a tampon fight in his truck. Yeah, just throwing tampons around each other, laughing. We go watch the movie. He tries to hold my hand, make moves, but I really can't do it, knowing that he knows what my bloody tampon looked like. It's like he went to the friend zone all of a sudden. We were joking around. He was no longer that cute guy. He was the funny guy who knew the tampon came out of my vagina at a pool party. So that's the way we left things. Never heard from him again. But that was my most embarrassing moment, was that moment. But it quickly just went away because that's the type of person I was. I don't know if there are any lessons should be learned, but if there is a lesson to be learned, make sure you drink, hit it right. No, I'm kidding. Don't do any of that stuff. Don't do any of that stuff. It's horrible, it's bad, and you'll shoot out your tampon too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell so whenever I do post a video, you'll get a notification. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, have a blessed day. Bye.